But this one you can kind of serve as, well, you can serve it whichever way you want. But we're going to serve it as sort of like a nice sandwich, like a nice burger. And what we're going to do is, again, really, really simple. You start with whatever bean base. It's usually a chickpea. These are, you can, canned tinned chickpeas in a pinch. You can definitely use them. Just rinse them really well. If you want to soak your beans overnight, chickpeas do take a little bit longer. On our YouTube page, we have a great sort of quick soak method, which you can follow, which it makes it a little bit faster. But in a pinch, you can definitely use the tin ones. Just rinse them really well first. So that's going to go into our food processor, and we're going to add about half of an avocado. So the avocado is going to give it this really nice sort of creaminess to the recipe. It doesn't add much flavor. Avocado, I mean, unless you add lime juice and cilantro and all these things, it's pretty mild in terms of the flavor. So we're gonna add some other things to kick it up a little bit. So half of an avocado, we break it up a bit. It's gonna go in there. Breadcrumbs, or this is ground oats. If you don't have to, don't spend money on breadcrumbs. I mean, it's an absolute waste of money. So if you have some like dry bread around, just pulse it up, make your breadcrumbs. Or I didn't even have any bread lying around, so I had some flaked oats, large flaked oats, and you just pulse that up into like a breadcrumb, and that works too. And that's just going to be like sort of a binder. Any of the moist ingredients, it'll sort of pull everything together. So about half a cup of that in there. If you don't mind, cut that in half. Fresh herbs. I went for a mix today of parsley and cilantro. Yeah, I know that was coming. If you don't like cilantro, don't add cilantro. In something like this though, you're gonna try it after. Something like this, because it's mixed in with all these other ingredients, if you're not a cilantro lover, this is kind of a good way to ease in because it's not overpowering. It doesn't hit you in the head with cilantro. So if you didn't want to try it, this would be the recipe to do that. We're gonna add a little bit of lemon juice to that. Nice. And I have a little bit of cumin. Cumin, again, fantastic sort of spice. You can toast it ahead of time and really, really increases the aroma and the flavor of it.
Did you toast that?
This is toasted, yes. This is toasted, and to toast it, you want to toast it whole seeds. In a dry pan, don't add oil, nothing, just moderate heat for a couple minutes. Usually once you start to smell it, once you smell the cumin, it's done. Put it into like a coffee grinder, take out the coffee, put it in the coffee grinder, pulse it until you have some really nice toasted cumin, and that really, really enhances the flavor in a dish. And that goes for any spices. It's a great way to keep them whole and then toast them when you need them. Chili, optional. If you don't like the heat, don't add the heat.
Yeah, we scraped out the seeds and all the membranes on the inside, so that's where the heat is. So it's just got like a chili flavor instead of the spice.
So that's sort of a good technique if you like because chili itself, a lot of chili foods have a beautiful flavor for you. They have an amazing flavor, but it's some of that heat that might not be tolerated well, so you can definitely clean that out first. And salt and pepper. I mean, it's customizable.
Here.
A little bit of salt. You can really put whatever you want in there, and we'll put 1 tablespoon of olive oil. So no eggs in this, which means you can cook them really to your desired texture. I mean, I like them a little soft in the middle. There's nothing raw like an egg in here that's gonna hurt me, so I can cook it until it's nice and crispy on the outside, nice and soft in the middle, or you can bake them all the way through. It's really up to you. So that's it. We're gonna pulse it. Give it a little bit of help down the sides if it needs it. more pulse, and can you see how it's sort of breaking down like this? The chickpeas, I don't want to turn them into a mush. I like a little bit of that texture. So it's really just until it's all combined, but still a little chunky. So that's pretty much it. So that's good. And this you can do like larger, like burger size, which we're gonna do today. Or you can get like an ice cream scoop, and you can do them
like this,
like little falafels. And like I said, this is a nice batch recipe, so you can make, you know, this will make probably like 24 little falafels. You can either bake them ahead of time and then put them in the freezer, or just put them directly into the freezer and then use them whenever you want. So really, really great. So I'm gonna form a little patty. So I'm gonna make sort of a burger, like a large burger patty style. And you can see it sticks together pretty well. I'm just putting a little bit of olive oil on the plate just so it doesn't stick to the plate. But that's pretty much it. You got some really nice vibrant green color. Beautiful. And I'm gonna start cooking this, and Casey's gonna make a really nice sesame dressing.
So instead of a store-bought tahini sauce, which you can buy, which is just sesame paste, it's just ground up sesame seeds, we're gonna make one just because we can. So what we did beforehand is I toasted the sesame seeds in a dry pan with a few cloves of garlic so that the garlic doesn't have that raw, pungent taste. Personally, I like that, but some people aren't too fond of the taste of raw garlic, so we just charred it a little so it would be a little bit sweeter. So I'm literally just gonna put that in there, all in there. And I'm gonna pulse that first because this takes a bit of time to grind into a paste-like consistency. So I'm just gonna go for it. So if you don't want to do this, you definitely don't have to make the tahini yourself. You can buy that store-bought. So at this point, I'm just going to add in the garlic cloves. This broke on me.
Oh yeah, I broke this ahead of time. There we go.
So you can just add them right in whole.
And toasted sesame seeds, like when you make tahini from scratch, is so much better.
So at this point, I'm starting to see that like buttery rim around the bottom. The seeds are releasing all of the oils, and that's what we want. So I also have here some lemon juice. It's just regular lemon juice. And a little bit of water just to make it more of a sauce than paste, because we want to drizzle it on the burger. So this is 1/3 cup, but I won't use this much. I use probably 1/4 cup. I just have a little bit extra just in case I need it.
And you can add, I mean, you can add yogurt too if you want it sort of creamier.
I'm just gonna, oh, I need a spoon. I'm just gonna scrape down the sides a little bit to get the stuff off the bottom. But it's starting to get a little bit more sauce-like than paste-like. It's like it will fall off the spoon, it won't stick. And I'm gonna add the rest of this water, I think. And that's it. Then you have homemade tahini sauce.
Yeah, nice. And it smells, well, I don't know if it's hitting you yet, but you can smell the sesame. Yeah, it's so fresh, really, really nice. So we have our tahini sauce. Now it's, you know, sort of assembly, whatever you want, making a burger. is sort of fun. So we have a bun of choice. You can add pita, whatever you want. Tomatoes are really nice. Pickles or cucumbers. I am sort of a pickle fanatic. So either a pickle or a cucumber, I think, is a must.
Is that cucumber you're doing there?
This is just cucumber, yeah. So just sort of those baby cucumbers thinly sliced, but really, really nice. And I'm cooking this in a pan for something this size. It'd be about 3 to 4 minutes per side, just until I warm it through, but it's still nice and creamy. And you can see on the top how it's sort of golden brown. So a nice little crust, so you get that crispiness. But you can also bake them in the oven. So in the oven, 375 for about 25, 30 minutes. And you'll have about the same thing, especially if you're making multiple ones, and it's easier to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy up. Yeah. And yes, it's a veggie burger, but this is like, some of those places what they pass off as veggie burgers are. And so we have this is some like red cabbage that we just add a little bit of vinegar to. And if you have some leftover avocado, I mean, like really whatever. I'm happy with mustard and a pickle.
Like put the standard burger toppings would taste good as well.
Yeah. Okay, that's gonna stay. Okay, so that's it. 1% avocado. And that's it. So there's our
tahini sauce.